Hello and welcome to the Great Game Debate podcast. I almost said Discord, but hey, come on down to the Discord where friends come together to respectfully discuss, debate, and disagree about video games. As always, I'm your host, Caden Barathaline, and I was mildly unimpressed with the Final Fantasy 16 PC demo. Joining me as always is the godfather of the debate himself, Jonah Gomez. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm on vacation. We're recording this
hell yeah.
right before PAX. I'm so ready. Mateo and I are going to hug. I'm driving.
Oh, man. Hell yeah,
I'm flying.
dude.
Mateo's flying. I'm driving.
Is this first time you guys have met in person?
No, we met last year at PAX.
You went to PAX last year, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know shit about nothing. That'll be cool. Speaking of Mateo, hey Mateo, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't get this last pin to go in this lock, but I'm good
shit.
otherwise.
You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll go to sleep and then you'll wake up tomorrow and get a first try, just like a Souls boss.
See, I was sorry. I was thinking, why don't you know this? This was around the time you were on paternity leave last year.
Well, that's probably fucking why. Dude.
Yeah, that's exactly why. You were just like focused on your kid. I was like, why don't you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, he would have just had his kid while we went up to PAX.
Yeah. I was just like, in survival mode, just, zombie autopiloting through life. Yeah, so hey Sasiasi, Steven Beaumont. Looking very lumberjack today. I'm digging it. You got the long sleeve thermal, the beanie, the growth on the beard.
Yeah.
Looking manly.
Yeah,
How you doing?
Thank you. No, doing pretty good. Still recovering from a cold recently, but other than that, looking to chat some games and hopefully play some games later.
Cook some mons.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we've got a debate in store for the listeners today. Maybe do a pitch in the game. Just a classic old school episode here with the boys.
With the boys.
Settle in.
Episode 99.
Man, yeah, closing in on that 100. Well, before we move on, just a quick shout out to our patrons. Shout out to Dan Giesland, Pucho, Wes, Dakota Falk, Randall Reborn Too Good, Ant J, Austin Sheen, and Cherie Clark.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you so much for your
Shout
support.
out. Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
And, just to shout it out there one more time, our latest episode of our sister show, GGD Gaiden, is out. Top 10 video game urban legends. Very informative, historically informative episode there. And that'll be the last one for a while while they're on a hiatus, while our good buddy Brad is in recovery. So check that episode out if you haven't yet.
Absolutely.
With that, hope you all called up your good friend, the Mouscular Chef from Astera, because it's time for the icebreaker. All right. What's your favorite video game food? I'll kick us off here. I got a weird one. Dark Cloud. Okay, PS1.
Okay. Oh, wow. Caden bringing a PS1 game?
PS2.
I'm sorry, PS2 game?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Not I.
Randomly generated to an extent dungeon crawler. Floors have these places called back floors that you need a special item to get to. Like the first dungeon is a mine, like an abandoned mine.
The OG back rooms.
Yeah. So you have to find like minecart oil or trolley oil or something like that. And if you have trolley oil, you could like lube up the rusty minecart or something and get into the back floor. There's rare shit in there. But the third dungeon is it's like a pirate shipwreck. And the way you get into the back floor is there's this character called like Little Captain or something, and he's just this big fucking like catfish or something with like a little captain hat on and like a corncob pipe. And he's hanging out in every floor of the shipwreck in a little pool. And if you go to the store in the city of Queens outside the shipwreck on the coast, you can buy a fresh fish and you bring it to the little captain and you just give him the fresh fish to eat. And he's like, hop aboard. And he'll take you in his mouth to the back floor. But yeah, shout out to little captain. Just as long as you got the money to pay for it, you can go to the back floor in the shipwreck as many times as you want. You don't have to rely on tram oil randomly dropping. But yeah, Steve, what you
What's
got
the
for
food?
fresh fish for little captain?
Okay.
People eat fresh fish, Jonah.
I thought we were talking like food that our characters ate, but that's fine. That's fine.
I am. I would love to say Bunny Dongo from Monster Hunter Rise, but I really don't know what that is, and I have never eaten it. So it looks delicious though, but I
It
don't know
does.
if it's like, is it savory or is it like sweet? I don't know.
Probably compare both ways.
Because I do know that like when I've had the red bean paste sort of stuff in
Yeah.
Japan, that's not a vibe. I don't particularly
Apparently,
like
it's
red
a
bean paste
dumpling made
stuff.
with glutinous rice flour. So it's like
So
chewy,
it must be
puffy
pretty
rice.
banging.
So it
Yeah, so
sounds
you
seems
can
rad.
like
probably
mochi
flavor it any way you
almost.
want. Yeah,
That'd be
because
pretty
it's
good,
just a
yeah.
base of rice.
So yeah, that does look pretty delicious. But I'm gonna go with probably the meal I've eaten the most in video games because like a lot of the time in video games you'll eat whatever, but a lot of the times it's potions
Yeah.
and stuff. But one game I would just go on runs and go eat and then go do the stuff, and that was playing Breath of the Wild and just going to where the durians populate and just go
Yeah,
get heaps
broken.
of durians and just go
Yep.
freaking cook up 5 durians because I didn't know about adding salt doubling the effect.
Mm.
And then I realized like once you get to the end of the game, you're only getting like 3 hearts because you
Yeah.
can't get the plus 20 hearts
Good
anyway.
27 hearts or whatever.
So then you change to like mighty bananas or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, so durians, even though they're terribly smelly thing in real life, like they're a banger in Breath of the Wild, giving you so much
Yeah.
extra hearts.
It's wild, like how much effort they put into the cooking system in Breath of the Wild. Like the minutia of all the different like dishes,
Little
like
dishes,
straight
yeah.
up like meals and like entrees and elaborate
Mm.
desserts. But it's pretty pointless to bother engaging with. It's like let me just cook
Yeah.
some fucking durians
Yeah,
with
that's
salt.
it. Just cook some chilies to make
Yeah.
yourself like heat resistant. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jonah, what you got for us?
See, I was thinking of several things. My first thought was going to the spicy curry from Smash Bros. That lets you spit all the fireballs out while you're
that
running
is pretty
around and
fun.
stuff.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what is something that like genuinely looked really good? And I can't pick one thing, but all the food in Sea of Stars just looks so
Yeah.
freaking delicious. And I love that they don't have like potions or like healing items. You just have to make food. And that's how you heal up and restore mana and stuff for your team. And so I'm just gonna say Sea of Stars as a whole meal. Garl can
Yeah.
make me some food.
Maybe think that I'm upset that Caden didn't say the actual real life steak in Dragon's Dogma 2 that they just like recorded.
I can't believe that was in-game graphics. They're like, oh my god, these graphics are amazing. Mateo, what do you got for us?
I also went down a bunch of rabbit holes in this. I was thinking like maybe something from like the Yakuza series because everything that's in like the little combinis that you go to looks so good.
Yeah.
Looks so good. And then I thought of like Deep Rock Galactic. They have like the beers. It's not really a food, but it's a
Beers,
food
yeah.
item.
That's a
There's
great
this-
one.
There's one you drink that like teleports you randomly, and
That
like
was
sometimes it'll
dope,
teleport
yeah.
you outside the ship. My favorite one. It's gorgeous out there, even though you're
Oh,
dying.
yeah.
And then I thought about like the stew in Red Dead. Like they always had like such
Sure.
tasty looking stew.
Yeah, you could just sit down and have
Hearty.
stew at the camp or
Mhm.
have your coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that truly the thing that I would most want to try in real life would be from the Mario Party games. They had the little like cube steak, like the little steak that you saute, and it looks so good. I want to try that little cube
The
steak.
fidelity on those cubes, seared to
Mhm.
perfection.
I mean, I'm
Nice.
kind of disappointed nobody said Final Fantasy 15 because like the food
Yeah,
in that game
instant
looks
ramen.
It's the good, it's like the only thing good about that game, so we got to give them props.
Cup noodle.
Oh god, the weird real life crossovers with Cup Noodle and shit. God, that
Wasn't
game
all
was a
their
fucking
gear
mess.
like Coleman gear too?
Coleman camping supplies. Yeah.
I played the
Somebody just
demo
pick
for
up
that, and I was
it's
like, "What is that? Like actual camping stuff in this game? Why? That is weird product placement."
That's so odd. I didn't realize that.
yeah, it's fucking weird. So I remembered one that I wanted to shout out. My goatee so far this year is Unicorn Overlord,
Mhm.
otherwise known as Unicorn Overload. But they have a system in that game where there's a bunch of little settlements you're like liberating as you play through the game world, but every once in a while you liberate like a big city that's like a stronghold and has like a lot of extra services and things you can do there. And the cities always have a tavern where you can go and buy meals, and you can pick multiple units to like share a meal, and it raises like the affinity of all of them at once. But the animation for the meals in that game is like insane. Like it looks so delicious. They have this one meal that's like a jiggly like apple tart or something, and like
Mm.
when you eat the food, you like press a button and it's like bites of it or go away until it's all gone. And while you're doing that, like everyone that you like put into the meal they all have like different like barks, you know, they're like, so good. Oh yeah, that hit the spot. Like, it's really good. I encourage anyone to go on YouTube and just look up Unicorn Overlord food. It's really good.
I just want to give two shout outs quickly as well. The unlimited sushi train in Pokemon Stadium when you're playing as a
Oh
Hortung, I think it
yeah.
is. It's like, man, I would
The
love just to
wasabi.
have unlimited money at a sushi train.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the sushi train, like you're like trapped in the inside of it.
Oh, that'd be so good. And of course, the other one just completely escaped me, so we'll move on.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll have to limit it to one per person. Jonah, Mateo, you guys have any last minute ones that came to mind?
I think I'm out. I think I'm out.
I'm
All
out
right.
too.
All right. All right. All right. Well, thank you to us for the icebreaker, and it's time to hand things over to Jonah for the debate.
Welcome back to the Great Kanto Cookoff. Today, we're changing up the debate a little bit. Each contestant will bring a Pokemon team's worth of dishes, where Caden and I will judge. We are ready to get our scrumdiddlyumptious on. So I think, Steven, I'm going to have you go first and tell us what your first appetizer is.
So my headcanon is that I got trapped on a desert island and I just happened to have these 6 Pokemon. I'm just like,
Oh God.
I'm sorry, but I have to survive.
So the theme of your cooking is going to be like campfire cooking. Is that what you're? Is that what you're...
No, this is high class meals. I'm gonna respect the crap out of my Pokemon that I'm about to dismember. Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny you say that because one of the potential names for my restaurant was going to be Survival Situation.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So-
I like that. I like that. Steven, do you have a name for your Pokemon restaurant? A Pokemon delicatessen, maybe?
Oh man.
Monster morsels.
Ooh, that's good.
You can have that for
Yeah.
free.
Thanks.
Poke morsels.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, pocket grill. I'm not sure.
Ooh, I like Pocket Grill.
Pocket
That's
was
pretty
good.
I like Pocket Grill.
It's portable.
Yeah, we do a lot of just like cheese toasties and stuff.
All right, what does the Pocket Grill bring in for our first appetizer today?
Okay, so judges, obviously, I need to start with a nice amuse bouche, something to wet your whistle and just get you really invested. So, with the 930th Pokemon, I have Arboliver for you. This is the olive Pokemon, and it has some lovely Kalamata olive growing from it, and also makes amazing olive. You'll see the olive oil featured out throughout the rest of the dishes, but so just starting with just a nice tapas, we've just got the nice Kalamata olives drizzled in Arboliver's own olive oil, and just with some nice dukkha on the side as well, just for some flavor. So please enjoy that, and yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I appreciate this dish because it's sustainable. You know, you just
100%.
you pick the olives off Arbolive. I've watched the anime where she squirts fountains of like high pressure fountains out of her olives of olive oil like a fire hose. So it's not killing her to get the
that sounds very anime, but I think it might be on the other tip of anime about the squirting. But yeah,
sure.
cool.
Yeah. No, and you have my weak point. I fucking love olives. I could eat those things like a bag of chips all day.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'm in heaven here.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, Mateo, your restaurant, and what is your first appetizer that you are bringing to us today?
So the restaurant name that I settled on is McDonald's with 2 N's.
Because your last name is McDonald, Mateo McDonald, right?
Yeah, doubt it. And for the first appetizer, we're big on presentation here. So it is a chef, and he walks out with a tepig on a leash
Oh no.
and a big knife, and he takes off several lengths of his skin and roasts them over the tepig's own squeals to make for you some fresh pork cracklings from tepig, the pig Pokemon, the fire pig Pokemon to be specific.
So apart
right,
from the wow.
So nice crispy pork fat.
Yeah,
on
it's a
its
tepig.
first-
Yeah,
Like,
some, like,
God,
As you're going through PTSD, you're just eating it like it's amazing.
Yeah.
That was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen.
I'm instantly Googling these Pokemon as you reveal them to remind myself, and
what-
the first thing you see.
What are the
Sorry, can you-
What are the seasonings that you have on the tepig?
We're keeping it simple. They're doing salt, pepper. It's pre-salted, pre-peppered before it even comes out, so it's just ready to go right from the start.
Oh, so you rub the whole tepig in salt and pepper? Okay.
Yeah.
dry rub for them.
It's the live tepig.
It is technically sustainable.
Technically sustainable.
Yeah, because it's made out of fire, so it cauterizes itself the second we take that skin off.
There you go.
God.
And then every 30 days has a new layer of skin. There you
Exactly. Mhm.
I just like anyone listening to this to Google Tepig to see the official key art and just how happy and innocent Tepig looks. But yeah, again with the olives, you've hit me to my core. I grew up in the American South, and those cracklins are. My grandfather fucking worked at a grocery store chain called Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
Simple, just like the olives. Just let it speak for itself, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Man,
Hell yeah.
both contestants coming out of the gate very strong, very
Good
delicious
appetizers.
We're gonna go on our second round of appetizers. Steven, what do you in the pocket grill have for us?
Again, I've got sustainability in spades. Morlul, the 755th Pokemon, also known as the Illuminating Pokemon. So not only are you going to have, I'm delivering you with amazing neon sautéed mushrooms with a lovely goat's cheese accompaniment to it. So you've got just like these amazing disparate flavors, and again a nice drizzle of that olive oil. And yeah, Morlul regrows its caps every single night, so it is 100% sustainable and just fantastic. To plate it up just looks amazing because it's like glowing. So like we like to dim the lights down in our restaurant a little bit, and then yeah, just get this nice glow off the plate.
So for your dishes for the whole evening, I've noticed that a slight theme of maybe going vegetarian. Is that going to continue throughout the evening?
No, I just it's obviously I always wait for the main, for the big large amounts of protein and
Okay.
stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Yes, very very good. Thank you.
I'm a little bit wary of this appetizer because Morlul is known for spreading spores that make you fall asleep against your will. So is there a risk here that I'm going to pass out and not be able to enjoy the rest of my meal?
No, it's more of like a, think of it like a,
Are you neutralize the spores?
you know those aphrodisiacs that may not be consensual. I don't know what
Oh,
they call
no.
those. But
No.
it's just trying to like get you in the mood for eating. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not following, but okay.
Okay.
Mateo unfortunately was.
All right, Mateo.
That's my nickname for my Mateo.
Chef Mateo is a pretty good chef.
Mateo, what do you and McDonald's have for us today for
So-
second appetizer?
Second appetizer. This one is not as much on the presentation. There is a whole process in the back. We are also focused on sustainability. So this dish is really made from 3 different Pokemon. We use milcery or milkery, and we churn it until we get this nice fresh butter. We use some of the honey from a Combee, the bee Pokemon,
Okay.
to garnish these, to garnish and add some sweetness to these. And just take a moment to talk about how important it is to spay and neuter your pets. Because we have this dish is honey buttered balls, because we fix our Fido Pokemon, the bread Pokemon, which is a sustainable practice, and we cook those, we butter them, we get the fresh Combee honey, and we present to you a basket of those.
Okay.
Oh.
I have a technical question here for you, Mateo. It's gonna make or break this appetizer.
Uh-huh.
Do you or do you not remove the membranes from the Fido balls?
Oh, actually, Fidos don't have that membrane. They're just all bread. It's like a little pretzel dog. Almost.
Let's dig in.
Nice little
Man,
pretzel.
that does actually.
Pretzel
that does
sounds-
sound pretty good.
pretzel
That
roll
sounds
with
good.
some honey butter. Sounds delicious. Quite good. I appreciate that. That is a
Delicious.
nice starter.
Gives me kind of gulab jamun vibes, like the Indian.
That's what I was picturing in my
Indian
head.
donut. Yeah.
You have to ask about the milcery. Do you put the whole live milcery in like a churner and you're just crushing it to death until it's
100%.
dead? Like, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Make sure.
interesting.
It
It's
looks
just
a little-
milk on the inside.
Yeah, you can churn milceries for sure. It's a illegal technique in some regions. But
Oh,
I can't
so
tell.
it's a bit of a delicacy. Okay, I see. I understand. All right. Well, we'll move on to our entree round. Steven, what have you in the Pocket Cafe? What was it? Pocket Grill.
Pocket Grill.
What have you in the Pocket Grill brought for us for the entree round of the cookout?
Again, like most of the starters have been cold to medium in temperature and stuff, so obviously I just want to start to warm everyone up to the main course, and that is obviously going to be with a nice soup. So and the good thing about this is as well, I don't want to fill you up too much, so instead of just using a normal pumpkin soup, I'm using Pumpkaboo soup, and that's a ghost Pokemon, so it's going to be light,
Oh,
but
okay.
you're also going to get those amazing like flavors. So just Pumpkaboo soup again, like you've always got to have just a little bit of that beautiful extra virgin olive oil, a bowl of a drizzle on top, just your normal salt and pepper. It's pretty simple. Light little bit of cream. It's just, again, it's preparing you for what's to come in the main. So yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
I recently had some Afghan cuisine that was like a
ooh.
slow roasted candied pumpkin side. Oh my god, that shit was delicious. So anything's like this, then I have to ask, the Pumpkaboo are a habitat for lost spirits. Are your harvesting of the Pumpkaboo like destroying the lost spirit habitats? What's going on with that?
I think that there's enough ghost Pokemon to look after the rest of the flock. Like we're just a humble little grill
Fair enough.
in our town,
It's interesting to note, I actually did a lot of research, and while it is recognized that a lot of Pokemon are endangered, there is actually no protection agency that exists for these endangered Pokemon. So they're free game still.
Well, I mean, that's
All
why
right.
we started the
That's it.
show.
So, like, if
that's why we
anyone,
started the Great
like-
Kanto Cookoff.
Raising
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah. Lapras used to be endangered, but actually someone like brought them back from the brink of extinction, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I just want our fans to know that all of the Pokemon provided today have been ethically sourced, pasture fed, and raised at happy lives. All right,
Yeah.
Mateo.
With only legal cockfighting.
Let's
What?
see.
Don't worry about it.
What?
Mateo, what is your entree that you and McDonald's have brought for us?
Funny enough, we also brought a soup. We felt that this was the appropriate kind of warming up to the main dish, as Steven was saying. Our soup is pretty simple. It is a simple mushroom and leek soup.
Okay.
It's made from the fungus, the mushroom Pokemon. Funny thing about them, they look like little Pokeballs.
Oh.
So the soup has little floating Pokeballs in it.
That's cute.
And
I love that presentation.
fungus is actually poisonous, but his poison is used in stomach medicine. So this actually almost acts like a digestif for the rest of the meal.
Good for gut health, yeah.
And the leek was actually acquired from a Farfetch'd.
Just stole the Farfetch'd food. Just kicked it to the side, picked his leek.
So that's what we're bringing for you on this one.
Yes.
Wow.
That's delightful.
I am impressed by this meal because I think Fungus's evolution of Mungus is like the worst Pokemon ever designed, and I can't stand to look at it. So the more of those things that are killed and taken out of existence, then the better.
Fungus turns into Mungus.
Mungus.
Mungus, as in Among Us.
So there's a fungus among us.
Yeah. And this was one of the few Pokemon that they deigned to tap to give a regional variant of all Pokemon. Like, fuck a Bungus. God. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the
Give Kaden an extra scoop of the soup there.
The 2 appetizers, our entree. Let's go on to our main dish. Steven, what have you brought for us for our main dish? I'm very excited.
This is my absolute favorite meal of all time, and it's gonna be crispy pork belly. We're talking about Oinkalone, who famously cries tears of bacon grease, so it just like constantly
That's supposed to...
makes itself extra juicy. It is just,
oh my god,
again,
Self-lubricating, yeah.
Yeah, we're crisping it up. What are we basting it with? Obviously, we've got the arbol oil. We're salting it. And then, we're just absolutely crisping this up. These are nice thick chunks of pork belly and just a nice jus underneath. Very simple main dish. Obviously, we've had a lot of courses, so it's not like, again, it's just like you just want to showcase the quality of this pork, and Oinkalone it is just all quality.
Very nice.
Does this dish include a preparation of the weird hot dog fingers that come on the end of Oinkalone's tail?
I thought that was like a brush. I clearly didn't look carefully enough at that. We haven't done a pigtail yet at our restaurant, but
Okay.
It could be a consideration.
The male, instead of having the hot dog finger, seems to have like a prolapsed anus on the end of his tail for some reason. Like I don't know what's going on. These Pokemon like really fuck with me. So I'm glad you've not included the tails because I don't think I could stomach the dish. So that's a plus.
All right.
Gosh.
Mateo, let's move over to your main dish. What have you brought for us today?
So we actually on the side we do run this nursery for Farfetch that have lost their leeks, and we use those to make these Milcery butter braised Farfetched legs. They're braised for hours. We're talking like these have been going since yesterday. They're coming out fresh and ready. Basic dish, very basic dish. You know, fancy cuisine, but not upscale. Affordable.
Nice.
That's what we got going on at McDonald's.
I have to ask. It doesn't seem like there's the most meat on a far-fetched leg? I mean, is this gonna be a feeling?
Is this kind of like eating chicken wings? You're getting like a basket
Nibbling.
of far-fetched legs, and
We have a very very involved and highly confidential process to make our Farfetch'd bigger, about 50% bigger than a normal Farfetch'd would be.
I see. It may or may not involve chopping up lame Farfetch'd and feeding them to the other Farfetch'd.
And if we can find who's stealing all these leaks, we're gonna solve this problem one day.
Yeah. Well, as long as the legs are meaty and filling, then that's all good here.
yes, all right. We'll move on to our final round, the dessert round. But first, Steven, you said you had an extra little surprise for us today.
I do. Of course, I needed to add this delicacy, and it was actually hinted at earlier, surprisingly. But as any self-loving Simpsons fan will know, the quillfish 211 goes poison, tasty fish, and so if you're willing to take that risk, you could get a delicacy that probably only 1 or less than 1% of the world has ever tried, and that is the quillfish, because it is a very, very poisonous pufferfish.
How is it prepared?
That chance, and it is just like expertly handled with care. Very thin slivers of what is the flesh that is not poisonous from the quillfish, flash fried, it's almost teppanyaki style, and just served just very simple. It's a very mild flavor, lots of umami, but yeah, like you just know that you are in the elite if you decide to enjoy this.
Very tasty. Yes.
Unfortunately, the budget does not pay the judges enough to put their lives at risk, so this dish will not be considered in the final judging on the grounds that we will not be tasting it, because it's not worth the risk. But hey, good for you. Good for you.
All right. Steven, will you present us with your dessert?
Yeah, what goes best with pork?
Apples?
Apples, baby. We're talking
Yeah.
Appleton pie. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
This thing eats apples all day long, just the sweetest apples. It's like a pig looking for truffles. It knows where the sweetest apples are, so it is just so full of just amazing citric acid, and it's just like, it is an absolute flavor bomb, this pie. It's ready to go. Like literally all we do, we just trim the legs, the head, the tail off, and you've got a ready to go pie. We just cook it. At 180, obviously I'm talking in Celsius, not Fahrenheit, for about 45 minutes, and then just dollop of cream on top of that. It's the best way to finish a meal, especially when you've just had the pork and you got that salty flavor, and then you just get the sweetness of those apples.
You have a gorgeous kitchen, right? Too, right? Like your oven is soundproof, very soundproof whenever you're making these.
Yeah,
I have to ask, as much as I love apple pie, just on the sustainability front here, like, what exactly are you doing with the Appleton limbs that you're shaving off the pie?
Well, I was gonna actually ask the same question of Mateo with the far-fetched body. Like, you're wasting so much meat, but I didn't speak up at the time. But now I'm getting
that's easy. We
lambasted.
we feed it to the tepig is what we do.
Probably to the other.
Well, again, there are certain delicacies, much like the quillfish. Like, some people like Appleton cheek, and it's like, it is literally like the most like soft. You know, like I again don't know how many of these apples translate, but like a red delicious or a golden delicious, they're a much softer apple. That is like what the Appleton cheek is. So they're they're for our more discerning customers. So yeah, we don't waste. We only enjoy food.
Nice.
Tangent here. I just want to shout out to the American school system. The mass-produced Red Delicious that they serve has got to be one of the worst foods on the face of the planet.
Mhm.
Just like wax, just straight wax is what it tastes like.
Yeah, Red
Anyway.
Delicious apples are terrible in America. I don't know if they're good
Yeah.
elsewhere.
I don't like soft apples, but as I'm explaining my dish, like
Yes,
that is
yes.
the consistency. It's a very, very soft.
I bet they would bake well though.
Yeah,
Tried.
take it down. All right, delicious apple pie.
Mateo, let's round off this course of meals with your dessert. What have you brought for us?
As part of our rescue operations, we end up with a lot of berries. For some reason, Pokemon love holding berries.
Mm.
So we've taken those berries and we've turned them into a cobbler using, some of our Fido and
Yes.
mixing it with the berries and making it this nice cobbler. And we're topping it off with an evolved Alcremie ice cream, which apparently you evolve Milcery by just spinning it or something, and it turns into different kinds of Milcery,
Yeah.
like Alcremie. So
Yeah.
we got a nice mixed berry cobbler for you, topped with the.
So is the
Lava
is
ice
the
cream.
Kirby served alive on the cobbler?
If you want, absolutely,
Okay.
I can go get you one right now.
It's like a lobster. You choose which color you want.
Yeah. No, I love the fact that your operation takes in so many endangered Pokemon and repurposes the foods that they brought bearing into your establishment. The leeks and the berries. All right.
Oh man, I'm absolutely stuffed, and I could not eat another bite. Caden, what did you think about our meals today? And who do you think the winner is?
I appreciated the vegetarian leaning of Steven's course towards the beginning, and I have to give an extra point to Mateo for using a starter in one of his starters. And crackling. And, it's a pretty close race throughout. You both used questionable mushrooms that could have adverse effects on the bodies of the judges. But I think the splitting hairs I have to do to decide at the end was it feels like there's a little bit more effort that goes into Mateo's dessert because it's an actually prepared, seasonal cobbler, whereas the Appleton pie is literally just an Appleton served to us. So just barely, I gotta give it to Mateo in the end.
Man, these were both great courses. You both really brought your A game for the dishes tonight. Something just fell in my house. But I think my point's gonna go to Steven. I love the all natural, really like I felt holistic foods that he brought. A lot of his dishes were not necessarily as processed as what Mateo is bringing to the table, and you could really taste that freshness in his food. So, Steven, you're getting my vote. And I guess it's just gonna have to come down to the community as to who made it better. So make sure to go to the Discord and you cast your votes, on who you thought had the better 5-course Pokemon meal.
It's been too long, but once again, it is time for the pitch. We're in a handful of us panelists. We'll make a 2-minute elevator pitch for a game we've been playing, and the rest of the panelists will decide whether to buy the game or not based on the pitch. I will walk my own tight little butt up to the pitcher's mound first. If Jonah would like to prepare a timer to count me
You've
down.
got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
All right, imagine you're a religious heretic, so you've been thrown in prison. But thankfully, you live in a society that believes in rehabilitation. So you've been given the choice: rot in prison or carry out our religious zealotry and help us kill heretics to absolve yourself of your sins. And of course, you don't want to rot in prison. You want to play the video game. So put a sword in hand, go in this fort, kill the heretic. Now, your superior officer is someone that you could aspire to be. They, just like yourself, are a prisoner that has been given the chance at redemption. And to help her focus on the task at hand and clear her mind of heretical thoughts, she has been placed in a mechanized Iron Maiden that constantly punctures and bleeds her, but has mechanical arms and legs to convey her around.
Damn.
So the setting here, the world has basically been destroyed. The planet's just been cracked, and everybody's floating around on disparate chunks of the planet. And the gods are real. You got these little local gods that are like, hey, you do this for me, and I'll do that for you. And you've got these people that they call, I think they just call them Wiccans, which might be a political POFA in the real world, but I mean, POFA. I said POFA. The Wiccans act as the god lawyers that broker deals between the populace of these gods. So you got this one place, and you got this one god. He's just like a big Cyclops guy, and he's like, hey, you give me like just random villagers and children for me to just murder and fertilize the mycelium of my giant god mushrooms for the harvest. And in return, you get the mushrooms to sell and make a profit. Man, I did such a horrible job explaining this game in 2 minutes.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It sounds weird and freaky, right? That was the point.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get past the Iron Maiden that is like, constantly like bleeding out this person. That's pretty freaking wild.
It's one of the best character designs I've seen in a long time.
Aiden,
the doors creak open and you see her in there occasionally. Anyway,
Aiden, I am trying to hunt down my dirigible currently.
Yes.
In this game. This game is fantastic, and I knew immediately that it was a Caden game. I am in. I've already purchased it. I am that in.
Let's go.
What kind of gameplay is this? Like a Metroidvania or?
The best I could say, it's literally like Elder Scrolls game. It's like first person. You run around first person. You got the choose melee weapon, choose magic, get your non-combat utility skills, pick locks, persuade people. One thing I will say is that the game does not provide traditional experience for leveling up from killing things, so you're not necessarily incentivized to just kill everything in your path. It has those immersive sim elements where it's just as beneficial to you to find ways around enemies if you want. It's just what is the gameplay that you want? Do you want to avoid enemies, or do you have fun murdering enemies?
How what is the it doesn't have a like, what do you call it in D&D, like
milestones?
The other leveling system milestone?
It kind of is more like a milestone. The way it works is for completing quests, you get like a skill point or a perk point, whatever you want to call it. And then there are also collectibles that give you perk points in the environment to reward exploration.
Cool. So
you're leveling up for exploring and completing quests. So
because there is like a thing with like, especially like your old traditional Zelda games or whatever. Why do I fight anything in this game if it's there's no point, and I only have 99 max rupees and sort of thing. So that's like always a bit in my head. That sounds pretty cool though. Like I'm so intrigued. I've been wanting to get a new indie game, so this sounds Let me give you one more piece to it, Dicey.
It's Elder Scrolls mixed with Majora's Mask mixed with Bloodborne is kind of, and you just put them in a churn and churn them up like a milcery.
Last anecdote I'll give you is so funny in the lore. So the organization you're serving are like god slayers. Like their goal is they want to liberate humanity from gods so that they can have free will. And they craft these. It's basically the Dragonator from Monster Hunter. They just make these big spikes from some kind of magic god-killing ore. And you got this big Cyclops god in this one little village who's like killing people in return for the mushroom harvest. And he doesn't even put up a fight. They just roll up with their airship and shoot him right in the eye with one of these big spikes. He's like, "Oh no!" He can't really fight. It's just so funny.
All right, I'll bite. What have you
already
sold
bought
us?
We got the horribly underrated, flying under the radar indie gem Dread Delusion. I believe it's only
Never
available
heard of
on
that.
Steam right now. Yeah, just came out of early access. They patched it up. They just released a big free content patch, DLC. And this game has the most incredible PS1 aesthetic pixel art. You know that those
Chunky jaggies.
It looks,
This-
it looks
yeah,
crunchy. It's a
texture
crunchy
work.
world.
yeah. And again, this is one of those crazy projects where it's just all one fucking guy. I think he contracted some artists to make some art assets, and he did everything else. And it's just so cool that you could take that lo-fi aesthetic, and the workload of generating assets is so small that it really allows one person to do so much.
I love that aesthetic. Don't get me wrong. My only gripe is like recently when you got me onto Pseudo Regalia,
Mhm.
it's all grey. Has it got a bit more color palette than that?
Yeah, this game is so colorful, and
Cool.
like, the horizon is like a saturated crimson red. Like there's so many like the basic enemy is just this weird floating goblin fucker with like a Studio Ghibli no face, and he's just like a vibrant blue green with like a baboon ass red face. Like, yeah, very very colorful game.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Cool.
Hell yeah, cool. I did my job. Dread Delusion, check it out.
Sick game. It's a good game.
Yeah. All right, Jonah. You. It's not time to walk your sweet ass up to the pitcher's mound. I suppose talk amongst yourselves while I prepare a timer for Jonah instead.
I'm just strutting up there, getting ready to
Yeah.
to
The tight
throw that
pants
first
on.
pitch. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shaking it.
Second pitch, Jonah.
Second
Damn.
pitch. Sorry.
The traditional second pitch of the baseball game.
They sell cake at Jonah's restaurant.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
3,
Very
2, 1, pitch.
Right, I got a twofer for you guys.
Ooh.
Imagine living in a cyberpunk not apocalyptic, what is that word that I'm thinking? Dystopian world where people are just trying to survive by getting augment on their bodies and getting robotic parts and like arms and legs and stuff, and trying.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but imagine you are a superhuman who can withstand all of these augments on your body, and you become a super soldier, essentially a robotic cyborg super soldier. You go on missions, you learn to use and unlock different abilities in your body, and you can go through these missions guns blazing or stealthily. You can break through walls or sneak in with invisible cloaking. You can talk your way through situations with neuromods that help you with your charisma and releasing pheromones out into the conversation
30
to
seconds.
try and prove your point. The game's a first-person shooter with pretty good controls and pretty awesome storytelling as well. And I think I'll leave it there.
All right, everybody pull out your bingo cards, leaving 10 seconds on the table.
Jonah, I think I know which game you're pitching, but I seriously thought that you were pitching Fortnite at first, and referring to the armor pieces as cybernetic upgrades
No.
for the latest season.
I see what you're saying. No, I'm not pitching Fortnite. Although that would be so sick.
In a world where everyone has like body mods and stuff, and everyone's like in the cyberpunk dystopia, like, is it like a kink to like be into like vanilla people? Like,
Actually, that is brought up.
Unmodded is like a kink.
That is brought up in the game. There, like, you can talk like you can go to like brothels and stuff, and there are like there are women in there that are like, he turned me away because I'm not augmented.
Wow.
Wow.
And there's some that are like, my clientele only likes unaugmented women.
Yeah, wow.
It's interesting.
Well, shout out to your pitch. If anybody's wondering, that's how you do a pitch. It was very informative about what the game actually was. Just the lore threads that I pulled together. But this brings a very specific game to mind for me, and I've played it and love it and recommend it, but it might be a different game. But if that game is like the game that I'm thinking of, then hell yeah, I'm in. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
I'm in, dude.
Okay.
Immersive sim, first person,
I
cyberpunk.
know exactly what this is, but I've never particularly played it. I am very interested. It's just not my. I'm just not a first person, but like at the same time, I'm saying yes to an RPG, and then like not as much to the immersive sim. But I definitely want to give this a shot at some point. I own one of the games, I think. So yeah, definitely give it a try before I die.
Seeing you play it again got me hyped up. I would reinstall and play the first one, and I don't think I've played the second
It's like
one.
the
So
fourth one,
Ooh.
fourth and fifth.
yeah. I'm thinking of like the more modern ones, I suppose. But yeah, I'm in, dude. You got me. You got me when you were streaming it the other day on Discord.
3 for 3. What have we bought?
I'm talking about Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided. Both these games are excellent.
I thought.
Mankind
games.
Divided, a lot of people say the story isn't as good as Human Revolution. I disagree. It's a continuation, and I think it goes on very cool. It goes in a very cool direction. Especially dealing with like mass segregation between people that are modded and people that are not. It sheds a light on just like humanity, which is really cool. But the jump in quality of life from Mankind from Mankind Divided to or from Human Revolution to Mankind Divided is insane. The controls are just so much better, and the shooting is so much better. But Human Revolution, even though I stated those points, it still holds up. The exploration in the different levels that you go to and the different side quests that you do, like, they are excellent side quests and stuff.
I think the only complaint I heard about that first, the which one came first, Mankind Divided or
Human Revolution? Human Revolution
that
first.
Wasn't there something with the boss, like you could go through the entire game as this non-combat build, but then the boss
like
forced combat on you?
Yeah, so the bosses force combat on you.
But not that big a deal, to be honest.
There's a lot of noise about Mankind Divided, I think, from fans of the series that just had like a stick up their ass that were really nitpicking the game. And I'd never played the games before, and I played Mankind Divided as my first one, and I was like, this game's fucking sick, dude. So
yeah, I think the only issue that I have is they try to like kind of latch onto a bad guy, and like he's an alright bad guy, I guess, but like the story just kind of ends super abrupt in that game. Like you feel like there should be a little bit after like the final boss, and then it's just like the game's over now. It's like,
what brought you to play these games of all games recently, Jonah?
I was itching for a solid first person like campaign. Story driven campaign game, and I saw that they were like $10 for the whole series on Steam for a sale, and so I bought it, and it came with all the DLC and like some of like the microtransaction DLCs for Mankind Divided. So I was like, sweet. So I've been rocking like this sweet pistol and stun gun too, and so it's been really cool. I've been doing a dope like no kill run in Mankind Divided.
Nice.
And yeah, it is a lot easier to do a no kill run because of the quality of life changes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, what's that one power that's like Tesla darts or some shit where you just shoot out a bunch of fucking like homing taser darts?
Yeah,
Really cool.
that's cool. It's cool. You can open
Yeah,
up your arm. It like spreads out
Yeah.
and it shoots a bunch of darts.
Yeah.
That's sick.
No, yeah, sick pull, sick throwback.
Hmm.
All right, well, that's the pitch. Time to hand things over to our resident game master, Steven.
Welcome back, everybody. Very similar to the last game we ran where we were doing the ABC of games. I was wanting to do another round robin brain training game for us. And this is video games with nonsense names. So the simple premise is we don't have to go in alphabetical order like that. We'll just go around the table from Jonah to Mateo to Caden to myself and just say video games that have a word that doesn't exist in humanity. I don't care if it's a companion word, and if you break it up, then it is a real word. It's just even if there's a word in the title, as long as it's not a name, like I don't think it counts just because it's someone's name. But like if the whole thing is a name that just doesn't exist, then I think it might count. So maybe Pac-Man counts. We could throw that
True.
out to the judges. But yeah, so the simple premise. We'll see how it goes. It may bomb. Let's have a go at it. Jonah, can you kick us off and give us an idea of a nonsense video game with a nonsense name?
Pikmin.
Okay, sure.
Do be picking those men.
Is that me?
Mateo. Yeah.
Let's go with Sonic Spinball.
Ooh.
Spinball.
Okay. I think we can give Spinball a pass.
Do real
Is it-
words.
is it one word?
Fake word.
I believe it's one word.
It is one word, so I think that counts. Yeah. Caden, can you think of anything like your
I don't know
favorite
how
game
many.
that is a bunch of sevens?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. Sure, we'll go there. It's my favorite game of all time. Radiata Stories. Radiata's a made-up word, right? It's the
Yeah.
name of a country in the game. So
Yeah.
It sounds pretty made up
that's
to
pretty
me.
made up. Yeah.
Obviously got to go Pokemon. I know it's two real words mushed together, but it is
Mhm.
it is a fake word.
Mhm.
Jonah,
I'm gonna go with Mist.
With
MYST.
that Y. That is good.
Does anybody know what the deal is with the Y and Mist? Like, is it just
It's a
edgy?
mystery.
Oh my god, I bet it
Oh,
is that
shit.
stupid.
Damn. Okay.
Balatro.
Ooh, that is actually a
that a
real
word?
word. That is a real
Is-
word.
Is that a
What?
real
Really?
word?
Yeah, it is.
You know what that means?
What?
I
What?
looked it up
I'm
2
glad I
weeks
didn't
ago.
Mhm.
What does it mean?
come in with my my lack of Spanish knowledge and just say
Yeah.
Diablo or something.
Right? Yeah. That's a made-up word. Did you guys know that? It's a fake word.
I
But
think
yeah,
it means like
Balatro-
jester or something.
Oh, it's in ancient
Balatro.
Rome. A Balatro was a professional jester or buffoon.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Damn.
I think that
Jonah
gets
gets
me.
the well actually.
Actually.
yeah.
The actually. Yeah.
Actually.
Okay.
Well, it was a fake word until we knew it was real. I'm gonna go with Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Revengeance is so
Revengeance.
good.
Revengeance.
I've got. I'll piggyback on that one because of that Returnal.
Ooh.
Oh,
Returnal
shit.
Return.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out to our homie at WoW at PlayStack and Abiotic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, surely that's a word.
That
Oh.
might be a real word.
That sounds like a real science word. Like it means like opposite of life or without life, probably. So well, actually, abiotic. Your
Well,
turn.
actually, it's a physical rather than biological, not derived from a living organism, devoid of
Yeah.
life or sterile.
That's
Look
what
at
I
us.
said.
Prick.
That is what
PlayStack, PlayStack letting us down, Mateo.
Yeah.
Look
Jonah,
at it.
Jonah. There's another game from PlayStack that features a particularly lovable mascot amphibious creature.
I already lost, bro. I said my
that's
word.
pretty
I
good.
already.
Okay, your
But
turn, Tim.
you can use it.
Cade
It's
might
your
have
turn.
one.
It's
Yeah. Cade
That's Mateo's turn, right?
no
I think I'm out.
Mateo and I are out.
died.
There I was
Died in the first round.
I got
Yeah.
well actually out.
So I'll go Axolotl, spelled AK.
Oh.
So I don't know.
AK.
How do you pronounce that? Is it AK Solotl or is it Axolotl?
It's
spelled
Axolotl.
AK? Okay. So that's a real
Ooh.
spelled wrong.
It's a good one. Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Oh, that is
Ooh.
real
Yeah.
good.
There's a weird ass obscure Square Enix game that I literally don't know anything about at all. That's called Infinite Undiscovery.
Oh no.
Undiscovery?
That's bad. That's real good.
Yeah.
What?
Go with nice simple East.
East.
Oh man, still in my East. Damn.
He's
Okay.
about to fall on
It's
his
coming down
East.
to it. Yeah. Let me see here. Come on, brain.
Wow, this Infinite Undiscovery game is so on brand for Caden. It's so on brand for Caden because everything I'm finding on it is just people talking about how underrated this game is and how it needs a remaster.
Yeah. I probably would like it. Fuck. I might be out, man. I can't bring anything to mind.
All right.
Steven's the winner.
All right.
Take
The
it away.
winner is you,
What's the
Steven.
last one you got, Steven?
Oh, what's the last one I've got? Oh man, there's one like that's in
Oh
my
my
brain,
god,
like,
I'm looking at one right now. Near.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah,
that's pretty
ER.
good. Yeah, no,
Oh, man, nobody pulled Castlevania.
Rise, Son of Rome, Rise with a Y.
Rise with a Y.
YSE.
Yeah. Oh, Metroid. Right?
Yeah, that was what I had first started with, and I never even got there.
Yeah.
It's
Mario
a
is a made-up word, right?
Kirby's
Castlevania.
Dreamland.
Oh, well, I mean, Kirby.
But yeah,
Kirby's
that's
the
why
name
I
of
was trying to
a
take
guy,
it.
but
Yeah, names. I was gonna like say like
Yeah.
no to, but
Yeah, we totally missed the
that's-
boat on a Metroid and Castlevania for sure.
What is an ActRaiser? I always remember seeing a game called ActRaiser, and I don't know what the hell this game's even about.
Yeah, it's another
that-
obscure JRPG.
yeah, that is
That's
100%
a good pull, though.
video games with nonsense names, but it's like both names, both words are correct. It's just like put them together.
Yeah. Does
And then-
Fantasy Star count with a PH?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Probably just a
Sounds good.
host of JRPGs.
Misspelled names.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bravely and Default are both words, but together they're completely nonsensical.
Mhm.
Oh, Octopath!
Octopath. Yeah.
Octopath is a
Same
good
time,
one.
yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
We fucked ourselves, but Steven wins.
Well, I'm sorry to all the viewers if that was a terrible game. We don't prepare these very well. We just like.
I had a
sort of
lot
go
of fun.
by the
I
seat of
thought
our
I thought it
pants.
was a good like brain
yeah.
teaser.
It is good to think about these stupid things. But yeah. That was
What
the game.
is what's the main series that Persona is a spin-off of?
Shin Megami
Ah.
Tensei.
Oh,
Tensei.
I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
all,
Yeah, that
that's all
quick.
words.
Yeah,
that's
that's
all
all.
words.
Metaphor Refantasia,
Oh,
dude.
there you
yeah,
go.
there you go. There's also the backwards SMT game. It was like it was a Pop Idol Wii U
Oh,
exclusive
that has
game.
got to have a fucked up fake name.
Oh,
It
we
now.
could have
had,
done
like,
Danganronpa, dude.
Dang,
It
yeah.
was like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
something with like a sharp FE on it because it was Fire Emblem as well. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, Skyrim, dude. We could have done Skyrim.
Oh,
Oh man.
Man, we could have been better than
Morrowind.
Sky.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
hard
we're
enough.
just
We should
dumb.
have
We're
had round
just
two
dumb.
for sure.
World of
Next time.
Warcraft.
Yeah,
Oh, Warcraft is real.
Warcraft.
Warcraft
yeah,
is real.
I think, yeah.
Yo, we got all the Final Fantasy 14 expansions, dude. Like Shadowbringers, Dawn Trail, like Heaven's Word, just made up shit.
Yeah, Heaven's Ward, yeah. Dawn Trail. I feel like Shadowbringers is they're two real
Stormblood.
words. Yeah.
Well, they put it together as one word.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because it's
Man,
more
that's
legit.
extra.
All right. Well, thanks, Steven, for running the game for us. It was a blast, as always.
Mhm.
Congratulations, everyone. Pat yourselves on the back. We've made it to the end of the podcast. I'll toss things over to the godfather of the debate, Jonah, for the final thoughts.
Final thoughts are, I know that I said Mateo and I are going to PAX, but this will be dropping after we get back from PAX. So if we saw you at PAX and you now are watching the show, thank you. Love it.
Welcome.
And we got an Instagram now, so make sure to follow that. We're posting our shorts there. We've got our YouTube shorts dropping. The lovely Mateo just does a fantastic job editing, especially some of the more recent ones. He's just put in like the extra mile, just making them that much better. Check out our shorts. If you're curious, check out our Patreon. We've got all of the behind the scenes stuff that gets posted too. Yeah. Thanks for watching and listening.
Oh yeah. Steven, final thoughts.
Episode 99, crazy that we've gotten here, and I'm super excited for episode 100. We've got a awesome guest lined up, hopefully, as long as everything all lines up. And we're gonna have a pretty big extravaganza episode. So really looking forward to that. We've got a lot in store for that episode. So super excited for the next one. So check it out.
Oh yeah. Mateo, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Excited to go to PAX. And disappointed by the last season of Umbrella Academy still.
That's what I hear.
That's the mood.
Well, my final thoughts are I finally caught up on Stormlight Archive, finished Rhythm of War, geared up for which I learned that the community calls the cascade of twists at the end of a Stormlight book a Sanderlanche. So the Sanderlanche at the end of Rhythm of War is pretty fucking crazy. There's a really, really well executed twist that's like one of those that like you just never saw coming. But
hold up, buddy.
No spoilers. I'm just saying it's masterfully executed in the sense that you just don't see it coming, but in hindsight, you could see it coming once you know.
Are you talking about when Snape kills Dumbledore? Or...
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
So all that to say,
book 3, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah. I started listening to an audiobook of one of his secret projects, which is like a standalone but in the same universe, called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. And like, bro, I didn't realize going in that it's a romance novel, and
really?
I never really have read a romance novel, and I don't want to write off romance novels, but do not like this book.
He's bricked up.
And it's like it's like two 19-year-olds and they're both awkward. It's like first I'm just like, oh my god, this is if I'm gonna do a romance novel, it needs to be like some 50 Shades of Grey shit, not like oh my god, we touch it. They have this thing where, like, it's a isekai thing, so one of the people is like a spirit, and they can touch, so that the spirit can like pass through the other person's body. But he describes the sensation of when the spirit and the other person's body pass through each other. It's basically like they're having an orgasm, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, dude! Like,
it is interesting because I heard on a random TikTok or something about like the fact that like Brandon Sanderson is like very Mormon. So like if he doesn't understand the concept of like romance, like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. The main character is like one of the main characters, the Nightmare Painter. He's borderline like an incel. Like he's just like a loner, like 19-year-old, just got out of college. He's a nightmare painter, which is basically just a beat cop. He uses paintings to like turn like nightmare creatures into harmless shit. And they work in teams, but he intentionally works by himself to uphold this fantasy of like, I'm a strong loner warrior who's stoic. And, like it's
Wait,
just
he's a 19-year-old cop?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So it's
you know what?
really
they all
cringy.
can't be
It's
home
really
runs.
cringy.
They all can't be home runs.
Exactly,
It's okay.
It's true.
I just actively dislike both the main characters.
Caden, I agree. If I'm gonna be reading some smut, I want it to be some smut.
Yeah. My wife is reading a fantasy series by a woman author. I don't know what the series is called, but it features a lot of sex and romance. And she described this scene to me where the main character has to go get a MacGuffin that's like a chalice or something from a swamp that can like raise and control armies of the dead. And it's like guarded by some undead kelpie thing that like tries to like sexually assault her. But I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
Jesus.
I'm just like, I'm
Oh
afraid
no.
incels like having an orgasm when they touch fingers, you know. So yeah. Anyway, happy gaming. Bye.
So we'll
that's
do an
right.
appetizer, an entree, and a dessert.
What? Well, where the fuck's the main, dickhead?
Entree.
The entree.
That's
Is it not?
No.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's
Entree
what
is
we call it in
not.
America.
That is the main course.
We call it entree in America. I don't know.
Entree is a smaller meal.
That's interesting.
Well, we bastardized the definition, and now it means main course. I don't know what to tell. Look, definition: the main course of a meal. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
That's fucking wild. Yeah, because
Okay, I'm glad. I thought I was
it's,
being stupid. Again, I
Really?
thought I was just being smooth
Sure.
brain, and I'm like, oh no.
because well, but as well, you're thinking in 3 courses, whereas like we're probably thinking in 5 courses. But yeah, in
Yeah.
UK, Australia, New Zealand, the word entree refers to a starter course or courses coming after the appetizers, but before the main course.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, cultural difference. Where you know.